Start off with some general comments.
A couple things. First off, I'd like to thank everybody who came out tonight. I want to say thanks to our administrative staff. They spent a lot of time and energy getting this thing set up between the inflatables and the promotions. They spent a lot of time doing that and getting ready. Obviously, the weather wasn't great tonight, but still thought we had a pretty good turnout. Grant Abston and the folks down at admissions, we had roughly 168 recruits here today, and with their families, probably about 450 people. And just very smooth day, very awesome day. Got a lot of comments from people about how the campus looked and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm going to sit here and talk about football, and that's great, but like the fact that that stuff worked out like that worked out with those are some of our top recruits that were here today. That was as important as anything. So big thanks to those people. Proud of our team. I thought today there were some good things, some bad things. I think there's things we can learn from. Overall, again, I think you got to be careful of a spring game and not, put too much into just one practice. As a whole, for 15 practices, great body of work. I thought it was exponentially better than last spring. I feel like we've gotten better as a football team. I feel like we're moving in the right direction as far as getting better in just a lot of ways. But I think the big thing is just our guys are being unselfish right now. I think we're continuing to grow. Be specific tonight offensively. I thought the first offense did a lot of really good things. I thought our quarterback played well. I thought DJ Fuller obviously played well. Great to have him back. I thought our tight ends made a lot of plays and just were very multiple tonight, really spread it out. I thought our first team defense did some really good stuff tonight. Second offense, there's some stuff we got to fix there and learn from. And then the two defense I thought played really good tonight. So I think the biggest takeaway for me is kind of what we've known. We have to continue to develop our youth in our football program. We got to continue to get better with the guys we have. And we're not done recruiting. We definitely need to go out just out of necessity. I mean, you saw tonight we had 10 offensive linemen playing. That's all we have right now, and that's not enough. We got to go out and get more of those guys. Defensive line-wise, too, we don't have enough bodies right now at those positions. So we're going to continue to recruit.
How would you grade this spring?
That's hard to say. I think for here, for ACU, from our first year to the second year, I'd say it's a really high B to a low A. I say that because I always grade it by the practice. We really only had one bad practice as a team the whole spring. And honestly, it was Wednesday. It was terrible. Wearing helmets only and just didn't feel like we got a lot of work done, and it was the worst practice of the year. So, if you're saying, hey, we did things right 14 of the 15 practices, I think you got to give your kids an A for that, and I'm proud of them for that, and our coaching staff too.
What's it been like for you? This is your second spring.
It's been a lot more enjoyable. I don't want to use the word relaxed because I don't, it's not relaxed, but it's just more enjoyable. It finally feels like it's our football team, if that makes sense. Our coaching staff, we've talked a lot about that. I think we sense that from our players. It feels like it's our football team now. And I mean that in a positive way. Just, it's our second year with the kids, more kids we recruited. And so with that being said, you're really getting to know the players more on a personal level. Man, last year it was just so stressful with everything being so new. I didn't have a lot of time to spend, one-on-one time with the kids. And it's been fun for me because I've really, since we got back in January, I've really tried to practice a lot of one-on-one communication with the players, even if it's 5 minutes in the training room or eating lunch. But just really learning about our guys, and it's been really cool.
Talk about taking some stress off you. What about having a guy like DJ out there who can stretch the
Yeah,
field?
absolutely. DJ is going to be a weapon. Proud of him, the way he's bounced back. First off, in the classroom, he had a great fall last semester, and he's trending that way this spring. And he's a guy, I think you saw, we move him around a lot, and you're going to have to, so people don't roll coverage to him, and we're going to try to get it so they can't always put hands on him. But to do that, he has to have a good football IQ, and he has a great football IQ.
Coach, spring practice is in, you don't see the guys again until summer, and then at that point you're getting you guys in. How do you just kind of keep that transition going? Maybe, obviously you'll probably have workouts and things like that.
Yeah.
But just keep the momentum going of what you've seen in this.
Yeah, that's a good question. We're actually going to do something new this year. Honestly, we're going right back into the weight room next week. So we're going to have a team meeting Monday, debrief. So they're going to basically get Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. We're going to be really light next week in the weight room. It's more maintenance, but we're going to get back in there and get going. So that's one thing. The other thing we're not going to do is we're not going to wait till June 1st. You know, that's kind of the time when we can start meeting with the players again. They passed a rule, now you can have a ball out there and stuff like that. No pads. We're not going to wait that long. One thing is we're going to do as a staff, and we're going to talk to the players about it, is basically we're going to have, you know, captains practice starting in another week next week. It's going to be on their own. They're going to come out twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, do some 11-on-11 skelly, and just keep the offense and defense really fresh in their head. We're going to take that through graduation. We'll take 2 weeks off and then start back in June. And we really think that's going to help us to get going quicker in the summer.
The guy that you moved from offense to defense was Quayshawn.
Yeah.
He really played well tonight. What did you see out of him?
Yeah, you know, Lance, the thing with him is, you know, I think we're pretty good as coaches, and I've always tried to look at kids and see how they're doing and see how they're developing. And don't be afraid to move kids. And he's not the only kid we've moved this spring, but I think he's the one that's really taken off. I mean, with our depth chart right now, he would be the #1 outside linebacker. Don't use that word rover around Coach Jackson. Me and Lance get yelled at all the time for that. But he's really transitioned well there. And I tell you what, 3 practices you knew. I mean, for me, I saw him for 3 practices, and he looked like a seasoned vet running around, and he looked really comfortable. And he didn't always look that way last year in offense. It was really swimming, and so very proud of him. He's really thriving in that role, and he's really challenged himself to learn.
At the beginning of the spring practices, you kind of set out a list of things that you wanted to
Yeah.
achieve. Do you feel like you guys got everything done that you were hoping to in the spring?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, the big thing for me was trying to get better at running the football. You know, obviously we were missing some major pieces to the running game. With Tracy and Billy was out pretty much the whole second half of the spring. Very proud of the kids that were in there, but you know, we didn't have the last 8 practices, we don't have a scholarship running back competing right now. And so I think we got better at the running game. I know we got better on the offensive line. You know, we hired a new offensive line coach. He has done a phenomenal job. That was very hard, you know, for me. I've done it my whole life to kind of give up, and man, I'm so thankful that I did, and I'm proud of him, and I'm glad he's here. But he's brought a toughness to our offensive line. Coach Montgomery's done a phenomenal job with the fullbacks and tight ends. Those guys have really bought into that. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I'm going a long round way, but I think really the thing that focuses for me is in the run game, and that's going to help our defense too.
Coach, you saw it a little bit at the end, just kind of the scuffle there between the offense and the defense. But
Yeah.
for a spring game, just to see the intensity
Yeah,
and passion,
absolutely.
what is that a testament of?
No, it's great. I think our upperclassmen, you know, we've been working all week or all year, all semester with our leadership council, and that's freshmen to seniors, and they kind of came up with a slogan that we voted on. It's no more, and there's a lot of meaning to that. I'll let you talk to them about that as we move forward, but basically the principle of, you know, no more excuses. You know, just we need to get better as a program, and we need to get there's just so much that goes into that, but it's been pretty intense for the most part all spring, so it was great to see it.
You talked about Coy a little bit, but
Yeah.
I also saw it several times that the D-line was getting through,
Yeah.
getting to the ball carrier before he even got to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is O-line or how much of that is defense.
Yeah, honestly, if you really look at the 2 D-line compared to the 2 O-line, there's significant difference there, and that's nothing against the 2 O-line, because those guys have done a phenomenal job of competing their tails off this spring. But they were just a little overmatched at time. Our defense did a good job of getting our guys in a position to get matched up one-on-one, you know, looking at Dante Hibbert in there and guys like that. And so that's good to see him doing that, because our D-line and defense in general has really challenged them here in the last 4 practices to do better at winning their one-on-one matchup in pass rush.
Your recruiting class is full of JUCO transfer guys. How did you see them adjust to the team and to your culture?
Yeah, I've been really proud of them. First off, we haven't had any problems with those kids in the classroom or off the field, and that's awesome. They're really buying into what we're doing, but not just buying into what we're doing. When we recruited those kids, we asked them, hey, don't just come in here and try to blend in. We need you to come in here. And we were very upfront with them about the culture here and how it needed to get better and what we needed from them. We told them that we needed them to show up every day and compete at a high level, whether they were going to be a starter or not. Some of them are starting. Other ones are in the 2 deep. We have not been disappointed at all in those kids. They have brought more competitiveness to our football program and more depth.
All right, everybody
Okay.
good?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, guys.